welcome to InGeneral, the Jurassic Outpost podcast, episode 139. My name is Jack, and I'm joined with Caleb, Derek, Jaden, Assis, and Alex. Welcome, everybody. Today, we are going to discuss the Gareth Edwards quote and the new image. There's 6 of us here for one new image.
But we break down like a 2 minute. We break down 2 minutes, 1 minute into like an hour, 2 hour podcast.
We are that. That's how big of fans we are of ScarJo.
That's it. We are starved.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Gives us, to be fair to it, it does give a lot of talking points. It's a bit low resolution, which is unfortunate compared to the other images we got. But Caleb, I think you have the article up. Why don't you run us through what Gareth said about this movie?
Yeah, so what they lead with in the article is Gareth saying that it goes back to what I loved about the original, with an embarrassment of riches of different set-piece type scenarios and tense, fun action moments. There were a lot of opportunities as a filmmaker to have a lot of fun and try to play games with the audience. That was like the Gareth quote that they led with.
What kind of games are you playing with us, Gareth? What's going on?
So, well, let me read the rest of what he said. But let me see. Sorry, I lost my place. While it's packed with prehistoric beasts, apparently Edwards noted that there are certain dinosaurs it would be a crime against cinema not to include.
Blue. God,
yeah. The new human lead is Scarlett Johansson, whose operative Zora Bennett is leading an epic dino DNA hunt. Gareth Edwards says she's looking for meaning in her life after leaving the military. And this opportunity comes along where after it, basically she'd never have to work again. But through that journey, she starts to question the ethical rights and wrongs of what they're doing. So that's what Gareth had to say about Jurassic World Rebirth and Scarlett Johansson's character. What I was going to say was there's a lot of discourse and conversation going around with that. It goes back to what I loved about the original quote. Like everybody is responding to that. I think that sort of what he might mean is what he says on the back end of that quote, which is about like tense action moments and playing games with the audience. Because Jurassic Park definitely does that as far as suspense goes and terror goes. So I hope that's a big part of what he means when he says it goes back to what he loved about the original. But yeah, that's what he had to say.
So before we overanalyze everything, somebody commented that I've seen a lot of comments saying, "Oh, we haven't seen the dinosaur yet. We haven't seen the dinosaur yet." And then I saw a comment on one of our pages somewhere by somebody that said, "I really like that they're leading with some character information. It makes a change compared to the previous 3 movies where when they've been promoting it, they just talk about big spectacle and big new dinosaurs." I'm obviously paraphrasing, but in the first thing we've heard from Gareth is something about Zora Bennett's character. And I think that is a very positive sign that he's focused on telling us about Zora Bennett. Whether that's just Empire have picked and chosen that from the much larger interview, I think it's a good sign. We're getting some backstory already for the character. So she's ex-military.
So as a military dude, are you not worried that this is like a very basic kind of like been there, done that storyline in movies? Like this, like, ex-army guy or gal who's like doing like a job for like a bunch of cash, probably. You know what I mean? Like, mission goes wrong, clearly. We've seen this a lot. Are you guys not concerned about that?
It's Scarlett Johansson.
Arjo's done some pretty bad movies. I'm not sure if you've seen the MCU.
Yes.
Hard disagree. ScarJo is in most of the good movies of the MCU, but I think that kind of plot line keeps happening in the worlds, which is why it keeps happening in movies, probably. But
it's a very Gareth oriented story. Character. He likes the ex-military kind of person. I mean, it's not really been. Has it been done in Jurassic? I guess you can kind of say Owen, like he was in
Ujeski.
Yeah,
This
you
is
could argue.
Rodden.
The
Hey,
OG.
Dusky.
You could
Yeah, like
argue
literally,
Owen.
Owen was an ex-Navy
Yeah.
SEAL guy who trained dolphins or whatever, right? So that's like we've kind of
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
like we
But
kind of already. That's the only concern I have regarding the storyline itself. Like the fact that she's a military person, that's cool. That hits home. But like, only concern I have is like you're having David Cap writing. What's his track record with military characters? I don't think he's ever written a notable one, right? He didn't write Saving Private Ryan for like from what I remember, right? So that's my concern. Like, how is it going to be cheesy military? Is it going to be, you know what I mean? Like Gareth has obviously worked with military and Godzilla, and I guess a little bit of the creator. You can clearly see military influences, but the only thing I'm worried about is making her not like a tropey, I guess, archetype, just like a standard, like, oh, I got blown up in Afghanistan, Iraq, or whatever, and like, oh, I gotta get a job because my military benefits aren't great. You know what I mean? Like that.
yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
mean, the whole movie stands the risk of being cliche and cheesy.
Especially if it hinges on her being the emotional lead and like not like you know what I mean? Like the fact that they're pushing ScarJo as being the lead, it's like not really an ensemble piece in a way. That's what it kind of indicates to myself. Like ScarJo will be the emotional arc in this. It's not going to be an ensemble piece like the classic Jurassic was. That's how I read it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, they're definitely pitching her as the main lead. You have Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali, who are both. I haven't seen anything Jonathan Bailey's been in, but Mahershala Ali, like they're both very well received actors who have done some really choice roles. The last thing I saw Mahershala Ali in was that Leave the World Behind movie, which he plays that really well. In this, he's also like a mercenary, right? In Rebirth, he's playing a mercenary.
He's Scarlett's most trusted team leader or something like that.
They were
was how he
probably
was
like
described,
they
I
probably
think.
went on tour together or something like that. But I'm pretty sure. Like, I was texting Jack the other day. Sorry to like talk so much because I want to get it out of the way now. But like I was texting Jack like I think I got this ScarJo story to the T. I think the inciting incident is not going to even be a dino attack necessarily. I think it's going to be literally Scarlett Johansson like somewhere overseas doing some tour, right? And she gets like blown up or she gets like hurt, her team dies or something, like something that'll like center her emotional arc in the movie. I think that'll happen in the inciting incident. It's gonna be like a war scene, probably in the desert somewhere. That's what I can already see like the arc of her character, like, oh, I lost my team. I gotta keep my team alive. Oh, they're dead. You know what I mean? Like then she's like, I gotta keep this family alive now or something. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
that feels like a military story that's been done before, though. If
Well,
we're
that's
trying to avoid stereotypes, like
how could you make it different though? Like,
Well,
what's the emotional
what
arc?
about
Like,
the dinosaur factor? So what if we're getting the
I
ending
forgot
of
about
Lost
dinosaurs.
World, the helicopter attack or something like that? So like you said, it's an inciting incident like that, but like it goes awry because of dinosaurs in some way.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
have
this
her
one
as a
kind of
very
said back to you,
anti-dino
Steve.
character.
That's why I said back to you. Maybe it is military. Maybe it is that kind of scene. But maybe dinosaurs.
Some
have
dinosaurs, yeah, so maybe some
infiltrated
dinos mess it up.
so
Sure.
so they're
some
going on
military zone or something.
they're going on tour together,
kinda
like
cool.
shredding guitars. Is that what?
Like,
Yeah,
you
what
mean?
band are they in? God.
dude, like, here's the thing: if they're shredding guitars, like, I can. If you guys are saying dinosaurs are interrupting the session, like, I can see her band, like, it's like set up as like, oh, it's like typical like army versus or like terrorists or whatever, right? But they're going in the cave or whatever, and it's a bunch of dinosaurs that kill her team. And she's like, I don't mind killing dinosaurs in the past. And then she goes to the island and she's like, oh, I like dinosaurs. Thank you, Jonathan Bailey. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that could be,
Roll credits.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, now that you guys mentioned it, like, I
ScarJo will
wouldn't mind
return
seeing it.
in
Like,
Rebirth
if you're
2.
playing games with the audience, that's one way to play a game, being like, oh, typical army intro bullshit. We've seen this a million times. Boom, dinosaurs. Raptors kill her.
So,
Or
Assis,
team.
we were
Yeah.
talking about how there's already some similarities between the infamous 2004 John Sayles script. How the character in that is ex-military, ex-navy, and he's picked for a mission where he needs to retrieve something from the island.
Literally DNA.
Yeah, and in that movie, obviously they introduced there was a lot of military aspects to it, but they introduced some crazy
Dinos.
dialogues, right?
Daihuogs, excavating
Daihuog. That's what they
raptors.
call them, right? Daihuogs. Dinosaur human dogs.
Wasn't
We'll
there
get
some
to
like
that. We're gonna
trapdoor
get to that.
spider type raptors in that
Yeah,
script or
exactly.
something?
Yes, they had. That's. Do you know what? The first
What?
20 pages of that John Sayles script are fucking solid. Return to Nublar, him by himself. He finds the shaving cream, and then
He's
there's
in like old
trapdoor
buildings and shit.
raptors. Oh, these like freaky ass. Yeah, no, I really like that.
I'm telling you, dude, this movie it's gonna be an old movie, but like rewritten for the modern Jurassic World era. I'm convinced of it at this point. Like it's got to be. What's the hidden secret? It's either the disease or the dinosaur dog. That's it.
It's the Daihuogs.
Yeah, it's one of the two. I think it's gonna be one of the two now. I think I'm convinced of it.
So let's
But
talk
we'll get
about
to
that
Another
image.
clone.
Let's
Yeah, I
talk
was
about
about
the
to say,
image
yeah.
because this image, for me, I went Isla Sauna.
Really?
Yeah,
Don't give
This
me that
image
You would.
looks great. Let's just get that out of the way. It looks
It
we
really
don't
looks
know
cool.
fast.
where they're
Fantastic.
going, but I will say that the very first synopsis or log line that they gave, we said this in the last pod, but that they gave for this movie was they return to the island. So
They said
where
who
does it
they
say
get.
that?
It said they get stuck on the island. Didn't
I
it?
thought it said return. That very first log line.
It's
Not the
definitely
one-
not
Where's the R
return.
word? We need
It was a
Yeah.
family. It wasn't return. I don't think it was return. I don't mean to like burst your bubble. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, hang on. Hold up.
It said
Let Jack cook. Let him
it
cook.
was a
Before-
family. It was
No,
a
before that. The one
group
that
of people
came-
who get stuck on the island.
Okay.
Where's
I
return, Jack? Where's return?
It was return. not the like
Not the official
premise.
synopsis.
It was, not the official synopsis.
Yeah, I'm
The
not
one-
talking about the official one.
Okay, well let's
Jack just
find
wants it to
the
be
one we're
Isla
talking
Sorna
about.
so badly, but like if
You
you think
see-
about it, we'll talk about this.
We'll
The,
talk.
the necklace she wears, we'll talk about the necklace. Don't
Mm.
worry, that's coming. Stay tuned for that in the podcast. But like,
Yeah,
isn't
that
it just
Did you
look
find it?
It does. I'm trying to find it now. It does look like Brooklyn's. It does look like. Brooklyn's
Yeah,
necklace.
that's really interesting. Her necklace. I don't.
I mean, if you think about it, like it's obviously she's not Brooklyn. No,
She's
shit,
not
but, like,
Brooklyn, but
You got two arms.
exactly. But I'm like, how could this possibly? Is there a familiar relationship some way? Is she like a cousin, sister? You know what I mean? Like, is this a thing where like Brooklyn dies?
I
or
don't think
something?
I don't think it would be a family relation. I think if like maybe Brooklyn gave it to her or something.
Could this be a chicken and egg sort of thing where we're assuming this is the film following the show, and in fact it could quite possibly be the other way around? That the show was in production probably last year or this year when
You're
when
probably right, Alex.
I mean, chaos theory has been in conceptualization for a while too.
I mean, dude, even the fact that in season 1 that you guys pointed out that there's like the map on the wall in one of the scenes in Ben's like van that points to
Yeah.
like somewhere in like the South America
underwater
North, right?
Off.
I
Yeah,
don't
and
know,
we,
man.
like-
Yeah.
When we were looking for Easter eggs in chaos theory, we were we were wondering about the necklace because it looks like a dinosaur skull sort of, but like.
but they never made a
There
point
wasn't
of it in
really
the
any
show, right?
Yeah, there wasn't really any like
Yeah.
verbal significance.
Oh,
given
well,
to
Yeah,
it.
she never like held
Caleb
the
mentions
fucking
what
thing,
Sammy said in season 2 when she's like, land, sea, air. It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
dangerous.
Sammy says, yeah, land, sea, air. it's
I
all
mean, there's no
dangerous.
way. Like Alex is probably right. Like half of the shit's probably based off what they were told about the movie at some point.
I don't
The
think
necklace
there.
is from Wheatley from Fallen Kingdom. It's his necklace that he made. It finally came into the picture.
Oh, rest in peace.
Jack,
What the
Jack
hell's
did you find
Wheatley?
it?
I
forgot who
couldn't find
Wheatley
it.
was.
No, I couldn't find it. But I distinctly remember one of the very first official announcements for this movie said something about returning to the island.
Dude, if it said a return, we would all have like,
But they changed
jump
it
to the
because the one it's
conclusion.
in now is just on the island, and they keep talking about the island. I like the image to me looks like one of the Jurassic Park islands, and then it reminds me of Sauna. You have the long grass, you have the mountains. Obviously,
I'd say the mountains look kind of a lot more, eastern than Isla Sorna does. They've got that very rounded tops but straight up sides, whereas when all the Hawaiian terrain we've been getting, the lost
Volcanic.
Yeah, exactly.
mm.
Would be my take on that.
God damn, you got a
I've
geology lesson up in
50-50
this,
because
this,
it,
this
it
class.
makes sense to return to Sauna. We haven't seen it since 2001. They completely omitted Sauna in the World trilogy, so there's a reason to go back to that island.
It was in Dominion.
How dare you,
Was
Alex?
it
No, it
though?
wasn't.
But
Look at
yeah,
Kale's
I don't
face.
know.
Kale's
I'm
like, I
also-
don't want to talk about Dominion slander.
I'm trying to find that synopsis because I
No,
want
I
to
am
know.
also
To be
trying to-
honest,
Yeah,
though,
Was it Variety
It's so hard
or
trying to
something?
search Google for stuff now.
the
Go ahead, Jack.
Jurassic World's official TikTok account has been showing a lot of love to Jurassic Park 3 and like Isla Sorna.
Yeah, because
like,
they're
they keep
smart.
name
They're
dropping
finally
it.
being woke. They're awakened to the greatness of the movie I've been
Yeah,
screaming
I'm-
about. That you understand, Jaden. You and I understand this.
Yeah,
We
I know I'm
always
locked
understood
in,
this.
but like what, like they've never shown love to Jurassic Park 3, and now this year they're like, oh, we're gonna make it cool. But no,
'Cause
like
it's the best sequel, dude. I'm
It
telling you,
is.
people are gonna come around to
No.
this. I'm telling you, it's gonna get
The
the
Lost
Star Wars
World is the
prequel
best
treatment.
sequel.
I'm telling you.
We can't just sit here and lie on the
get chill, get chill, get chill.
Misinformation podcast,
Um,
dude. You know what? I keep
okay,
thinking
yeah,
about?
maybe you're right. Maybe the mountains are a dead giveaway. This is a different island. But
Jack,
where
though.
do we think this island is? That's the thing because we know
South
that
of Orlando. Think about it.
we know that it has.
They finally built in Orlando.
No, like think about how, like, you know, like I know it's a stretch. There's no way that this is at all connected, but like Hammond's like, oh, I should have built in Orlando. So you know he's like thinking about that area already. What's south of Orlando? It's those islands, right? The island
What was that
chain in
quote,
the
Alex? You had the
thing.
quote. Guam. There was as well.
It was Guam,
Guam?
the Azores, in the appendix
Azores.
from JP. Yeah.
Oh, I should
Something
know
about
this.
China.
There were a few locations that
Yeah.
Hammond had either purchased or had plans to purchase. Maybe we're going to one of those locations, especially knowing the vehicles have, spoiler, they have the InGen logo and the Rex logo on, which has only ever been seen. The Rex
the
logo
park.
is always with a park.
We've never seen it on Sauna. It would be
Never seen
weird
the Rex
on like
logo on
a
Sauna.
facility island.
Yeah.
But then it also just might be at this point in the franchise. They're like, well, we got to brand it. We can't not.
The
Hey,
toy-
I don't
we have to sell
mean
the
to.
toys.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I found that log line.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Does it say return or not?
No, it does not.
Oh.
So it's from, and that, like, look, I'm not trying to rub it in anyone's face.
Stir in the pot.
But so it's from Variety, and it's from June 13th. And it was right before Rebirth was about to start filming,
Okay.
because the article is Jurassic World 4 set to shoot in Thailand, Malta, and UK. And the line goes, with a script by David Koepp, the new movie is touted as a, quote, a completely fresh take launching a new Jurassic era following 3 adults and 3 teens getting stuck on the island.
Oh, okay.
The
So
island.
okay. It doesn't say return. Okay, but it says the island, man. Come on.
Yeah, the
island.
island is
the
the
island
point.
is,
Yes.
that's a
The
big
island.
thing.
The
That would be
Island.
Nublar then, Jack. Not
Yeah,
Sorta.
well,
Sorry.
But
I mean, yeah, Derek, you're right. The island should be technically Nublar. It's the most visited
the
island,
park.
right? Like that's the
But-
island.
But Nublar is burnt to the ground, is it not? Burnt.
Yeah, but now it's
Yeah,
unleashed all
Rakata.
the temples underneath.
It's halfway to the ground at least.
If you think about it, Nublar should be
World trilogy.
bigger now, right? Because lava hits the water and it makes new land formations. So Nublar is a
Yeah.
bigger island now. So there's more room
It's
for
been
dinosaurs.
5 years. I'm sure it's thriving.
Yeah, made a
Yeah.
whole peninsula out of the dead brachiosaur, you know.
Oh
No, I
my
think
god,
the-
Derek!
wow.
The reason I
Flattened
think Sauna
fucking dinosaur.
is Trespasser, the temples, the long grass, the InGen facilities. It just seems like Sauna and where they would put that. But then the temple thing is from a game. So
But which one of you
You know,
guys?
Universal in their games.
We've
Yeah,
taken.
but-
I mean, the franchise has
What
taken
games?
elements from like
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
things outside the films before. We've taken tons of stuff from the books already. We could take things
Mhm.
from games, maybe.
I'm just concerned because one of you guys brought this up on one of the previous podcasts that there might be some sort of staffed lab inside the hidden, ancient.
Yeah, we
ruins.
were
I was like,
talking about that.
I was like, please.
Oh,
no,
my
please.
Dinotopia theory. with the
Yeah,
talking Gallimimus.
No,
Oh
the
my
talking
God.
Gallimimus is fine. That's fine.
The
Yes.
library inside the temple.
Yeah, talking
Does it
Gallimimus is
seem
fine.
like
The staffed
almost-
laboratory is bad.
It almost seems too obvious that there is a laboratory somewhere hidden inside the temples. Like, why are the temples that big a deal? Like, why are they climbing?
No, I kind of we were
I
having this
hate that you guys put this in my mind.
we were having this assumption that maybe whatever this secret is, they couldn't kill it, so they hid it inside the temple, and then we get a kind of like the Mummy, 99's The Mummy opening, where they open it and things scream and all this dust comes out, flies at them, but they let out whatever this thing is.
Dead.
It's a secret staff lounge with a microwave.
Join us in eternal death.
The only thing I can
I'd be
assume
down
is
for that.
the dinosaur dog is running around loose on the island. That's the only way it's been alive, right? It's the only way
This
it's
is
been
what
like
he meant by
fed.
embarrassment of riches. This film's just got everything. No idea was said no to.
These dinosaur dogs are sick.
Spare no
Can you
expense.
imagine a dinosaur
Every
dog?
Jurassic idea that we've previously thought about using. They
That's
brought
this
it in.
trilogy. It's the sequel trilogy for Star Wars now. We're gonna look back on the Jurassic World trilogy and fondness in 20 years.
God help us, we're in the hands of screenwriters.
Oh no, Derek! I see what you did there.
One more thing on that image before I'm sure we talk about Scarlett's massive gun. I got a sneaky suspicion. I don't think that is the island. I reckon we're going to go somewhere else in the first act. We've heard about these three animals. I reckon the
think it's
first
just
sample
Thailand?
goes off of that hit. Yeah, exactly. This
Yeah.
first sample, I think they get it.
Wow!
Because they don't look that disheveled. They still look well equipped. They haven't been capsized in the fucking ocean yet. So
That's a good point, eh?
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, they're clean. They're not dirty.
Could actually just be Thailand.
Yeah.
Gara's a big fan. They shot there. But
I could
then
just double up locations, I'm sure.
could it be, so you're thinking maybe like these three colossal creatures that they need to capture, maybe they capture the DNA from one in Thailand and maybe they have to go somewhere else to get.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what are the chances all three are in the exact same fucking place?
Yeah.
Maybe because of that bar with the Suriname flag, this is a South American setting somewhere. Also, maybe.
Could be.
Isn't Jurassic Park in South America?
I don't know.
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
That's a tough question, eh?
I think so.
Everyone's
think
stumped.
that's-
except-
Are you saying like in the
Yes.
in
The
the canon
islands.
of the films? Is that what you're asking?
like
No,
you know,
those
like
islands
the
are.
alien
I
chain.
guess like Costa Rica takes dominance of those islands after the incidents, right? Costa Rica,
Yeah.
the Costa Rican government own the islands.
That's
so
South
that-
America.
Yeah, so it's
Technically, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
Central
what? Now I'm
America.
almost upset that I almost kind of want them to like go to a location, have nothing go wrong at all, get in, get out. And you're like, what the fuck? Nothing went wrong. Next location, everything goes wrong. That'd be kind of cool,
Yeah.
actually.
That's kind of the lost world, isn't it? The roundup is 98% successful minus a headbutt here or there.
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
technically.
Head.
God,
But like you're like
the
leaving,
Lost
like
World,
you like
what a movie.
successfully have gone to the island and like gotten out. You're like, what the fuck? You guys are elite. Next island, you're dead. Everyone's dead.
They're like,
That'd be
wait,
kinda
don't things
cool.
usually
I
go
kinda want
wrong
that.
with these InGen people?
Well, they're not in
No,
jail
it
anymore,
always
right?
goes right.
Let's
always
talk
works
about that
out.
massive gun. So
I have a theory about the gun, but
pod,
I'll let you guys
It's
go
half.
first.
It's only 50% gun.
yeah,
We've talked about
The
the
other
gun.
50%
Oh.
is entirely syringe.
I mentioned in the
It is a big syringe.
video that I think the gun. I like the look of it. It doesn't look too futuristic. It doesn't look Marvel-y. I don't even know if that's going to make sense, but it doesn't look like some
Yeah.
crazy futuristic tech. It looks very appropriate for the setting, and it
Yeah.
looks good and quote unquote real.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks good. Assis, is this something you've handled in your career?
Not quite. But it's modern enough to like where the modern weaponry these days look kind of futuristic, like to where this doesn't look. It doesn't look like a fucking Halo weapon. You know what I mean? If anything,
Yeah.
like you can see the influences of the creator, production designer. You can clearly see it with especially with the stock of the weapon. You can see it has like a kind of a translucent buttstock for some reason. It's very futuristic in that sense, but like that's just like all design. I'm assuming. It's all,
So
like,
this
just
works for
looks.
5 years in the future, is what you're saying?
I could see this existing now, but like I said, like why do you have a scope on a thing which you're like required to like jab into a dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So unless it has like some sort of function to fire, It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm-
presume
looks
it
cool.
fires the
I'm
syringe.
wondering if it's
How do
gonna,
you get it
like-
back.
Yeah,
I can't see you looking through a fucking like 4.5 times scope to like jab right in front of you. You should have seen a wall of meat.
maybe. So remember in Fallen Kingdom when we had to get blood from a T-Rex? Everybody remembers that
Oh,
scene, loves
God.
that scene.
It's
Great
my
scene.
favorite scene.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Not the
remember how
Gallimimus
they
on the
talk
ship,
about
yeah.
remember how they talk about how thick the skin is and how hard it is
Mhm.
going to be to jab it in there?
Exactly. So you wouldn't want a rigid weapon in that sense. You'd want something more flexible. So it
So-
almost doesn't make sense to have a gun that injects like a spear. Because
Right,
you
so-
want it to be a flexible thing.
So
right?
maybe this is like the point of the construction of this is to give the user some force to get it into the dinosaur's vein. Like maybe
It
it's not
fires the vial, Aziz. Like it's even
Listen,
on the
I think
muzzle.
I think
it's
I'm
got,
thinking too much about it. I just think it's
It's
a
not a
cool
bayonet.
design. It's a cool design, but it doesn't make practical sense in my opinion. But that's my thoughts on it. It looks
But-
cool as
but-
shit though.
With some context, it might. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
like-
think it could.
I had
yeah.
to see it.
How
Yeah,
it
I had to
really
see it in
is.
action. It's not like Owen's. Like Owen had a rifle. Like he had like a legitimate weapon. Like this is it's kind of like a custom made thing. So I got to see it in action before I make fun of it.
So-
It's
yeah,
better
maybe
than a
it's
laser,
a
I'll say that much.
custom made thing by the big pharma guy or something. Like
Yeah,
someone's
well-
custom made this for their mission.
Guns and drugs.
Yeah.
Guns and drugs.
One thing that's interesting.
America,
is
baby.
The
Yeah,
color.
That's right.
It's an InGen weapon, right? Because the color is the new InGen logo with the yellow. Those
I don't know
stripes.
about that. It seemed more.
Wouldn't be
like,
surprised.
I mean,
yeah.
the stripes on the muzzle, it's literally saying, don't put your hand here because this part of the gun is going to, fire. It's where the vial detaches from. And that's exactly where she's fucking holding it.
Yeah. Yeah. She also has I was saying to Aziz, she has her finger on the trigger. It's like,
It seems like it's gas operated too. Like I think you can see a gas canister where you would see the
That
round
makes sense,
eject.
yeah.
Like you can see a kind of like a metal canister.
a capsule thing. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a noob tube where it launches that into a dinosaur and
Mhm.
injects it with something. I don't know.
I
Puts
like the
seed.
idea. I was thinking about
Yeah,
that, Jaden.
that's
just-
what
just now,
I'm
thinking
saying.
about that.
Either way, either injection or extract.
And then it kind of just like falls off after the fact, and you just have
Yeah.
left the vial. Maybe
Or
that's
you
what like,
shoot it,
guy's
or
best
you-
for his
or
body.
you
the
get it
color-
in the dinosaur in a place that you can get it out.
his
Yes,
leg.
but you're absolutely right. It's got a big, that big black chunk. It absolutely could stab into the skin, fill up, and then like fire off with a little parachute. or
Exactly. Then
something,
you're
you know,
just left with just the vial of crap, right? That way you can inject it and not have to be close to it. That way you can use the sniper and like you can fire the vial off.
Mhm.
It'll just shoot off. Take the shit. Pressure will build. Eject from the syringe part.
I mean, this is the exact sort of thing
Yeah.
we used to see
Good
in
shit,
like,
I guess.
JP
Look
and
at
the
that.
Lost World. They used to
Yeah.
design technical things. When you look at like the
vehicles, too.
descriptions of exactly the snagger with its pincers that come down the bags that inflate and stuff like that.
It's all
like,
custom made
Kef is
for
used to this kind
specifically
of
that.
technical.
Okay, fine. You guys sold me on it. Shit. Fine.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
No, because now I think about it. Like now I think it's not like I think you just like it's not even a trank gun. You just gotta shoot it, and it'll take
Listen,
care of it.
it's gonna
for you.
be it's gonna be awesome, but it's gonna be even better for toys. Like
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely
I
a-
kids
think
are gonna be
Ryan
shooting
mentioned
each
that
other
in the
with
group chat. I want
The
this
real
as, like, a
money of the
Nerf gun.
movies made.
But I gotta say, the color, the yellow color, it's on the back of the gun too. That's the InGen logo color, and that's what we've seen on the building as well. The building that Frank Marshall was sat in front of. The vehicle have the InGen,
Oh, sure.
the vehicles
Oh,
have
are
the
you-
InGen logo with that color on it.
Are you
Like,
talking
I
about the
think-
dock where Mahershala was too? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, the logo in the background.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if the logo in the background there has got yellow in it.
I think
it
there
The
were some
poster is
colors
yellow,
around
the
it,
logo's
though.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in the InGen logo that Frank was sat in front of, and on the vehicle, there's an InGen logo, and that's that color, and it's the same color that's on the gun. I just found that interesting. Maybe InGen are still in operation somewhere.
They're
in some
still color
capacity,
coordinating
and they're
after
making
all
some
this time.
guns. Or
Maybe
whatever
the
hell.
sinister plot is just that InGen is still in production and still functioning to this day.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's a
I like
hidden
that.
secret
I like
hidden
it.
from the world for decades. Just
Yeah.
InGen.
Yeah, we're back, guys. We
know,
never
boy.
We've
left.
been here.
Derek, what was your thought on the gun?
All right, get this. Okay, so totally serious too. The gun is used to sedate everybody anytime, whenever Jonathan Bailey's around.
Okay. Well,
Anytime
That's it. That's
anytime
it.
a character says the word rebirth, they get shot with that gun.
What do
They
we
get
think?
halfway through the
Ooh.
word and just poof.
What
Or
do
they
we
try to
think
explain the meaning of rebirth, they get shot. So, 'cause what does it mean? What does it mean? It doesn't make sense to me. What does it mean? What's
What do you
rebirth of
think?
what?
Say, Jack?
What do you think she's looking at? What do you think this creature is?
She's looking at the bar in Ceremaine. They've been trekking for days. They've just seen the bar and they're like, "Oh my god,
Yes.
Finally.
That's the look I give when I see a bar. I'm like, oh yeah.
Turns out they need to extract things from humans, so she's getting ready to shoot a human with that syringe.
So she has an InGen gun. She has Brooklyn's necklace. She's on sauna.
she's
They're doing
Jurassic
all-
Park Jesus."
They're doing all the time, yeah.
No. No.
But this image is a follow-on from the image with Jonathan Bailey that was released. He's obviously crept forward to prepare the dinosaur, to entice the dinosaur so she can fire at it. I don't know, like what.
He is a paleontologist, so maybe he has an idea of what he's preparing the spot for the syringe. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, no,
maybe
I'm almost
something.
convinced now. Now that I
Rough,
look,
smooth.
I'm like spending time looking at specifically the cartridge part of the weapon. Like, I'm almost convinced now that it fires off. Like the entire tube section fires off that weapon.
You're a day behind the
then
rest
it
of his
fills-
release.
For
Filled the clear capsule with.
What? I
for
was
those
working yesterday.
listening, Assis is wearing thick-rimmed black glasses and looking very focused, telling us.
I'm
about
looking at
military
I'm looking
equipment.
at the picture of the Scardra with the weapon. I'm looking at the gun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, see, I think you're right. Like it fires off with the capsule that is
Yeah.
empty currently, and
Yeah.
then that
You
fills
can
with
see,
blood.
you can almost see some sort of turning mechanism on the black. Like I'm getting way too into this. Like this is cool, cool design actually.
It is a cool design. Yeah, it looks like it rotates, whether that's by itself.
Exactly.
or-
Yeah. Exactly. Like it's almost like you're like turning the thing into place.
Yeah.
This is yeah, great.
Looks like
Perfect.
it looks like a cool weapon. Be interesting to see how it's utilized and
The thing I did notice though, it doesn't look to be the same sort of vial as what was in
It's not.
Mahershala.
It's different.
his,
I was looking at
in
the
his
exact
belt.
same thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he has. Let me find what I.
His is long
Okay,
and
yeah, you
thin,
guys
and this
talk.
one is short and fat.
I think
Talk about me
maybe
like that.
Mahershala Ali's vial is for a different mission, different purpose, maybe.
or maybe he has a smaller gun. Nice.
Yeah.
So
he has a
I
smaller
think
version of the
if you
syringe
guys
gun.
look at Mahershala Ali's belt, like I just did a second ago, and then if you, I mean, no one can see this, but I'm holding a knife right now. It's made from camel bone.
There's the title of the pod
If
right
you
there.
look, if you
Oh
look
my god!
yeah, if you minus this part and look, imagine this in the belt, it looks almost exactly the exact same thing as what Mahershala Ali has in his belt, which makes
So you
sense.
think
for-
maybe he's
for me
having
to
a
keep a
knife?
I mean, like you can see a knife right here that looks the exact same.
Wait,
yeah.
are you saying that he has the vial and the knife, or that the
No,
vial
just
is a
knife.
knife?
Like, it's like this. See how this has a belt loop?
It's like glowing. It's like
Yeah.
But like,
glowing,
no, I think it's this. I think it's literally this.
Nah,
So the belt
oh.
loop is underneath, and then this part would just be like kind of popping out like this. You see what I mean? Like that's kind of what this is. I would assume.
I'm gonna pull up that
Stupid
image.
place to put a
Jurassic
knife. You'll
World.
get bend over.
That's right. That's where I keep my knife. I keep it in the front so I can.
pointed at your.
I mean,
important parts.
it makes sense that he would have a knife also.
I think it's a dinosaur bone knife
Oh,
because my knife's a camel bone knife.
you know,
It's not
I
a
w-
knife.
I would like a
'cause
dinosaur
the
bone
belt
knife.
is on top of his shirt, and you can see
What?
it's in the top of the belt, but it doesn't come out of the
You
bottom
can
of the
see
belt. But his
metallic
shirt does.
thing,
Yeah.
can't you?
I mean, this
it's
part
a
has a metallic
vial.
thing too.
It's a vial, but I'm sure
no,
he
it's
has a
not
knife.
It's too skinny.
It's not a knife.
It is. So,
Oh, you're
so-
right. It's not a knife because you can see
can
it.
see
Oh
this.
yeah. I was
After
so
all
convinced.
of
Like
that.
that's a dinosaur bone knife, like my knife.
Assis, check that image and then zoom into that because that's the high res. And
You have a
can see-
high res of this? Of course you guys
Yeah,
do.
it's like a vial. It's like a.
I'm using
it's
Google Images.
It's a vial, or it's like we said
has-
before. It's like hand sanitizer
yeah,
spray. You know?
He has
Like a
he has
little,
other things in his belt, but the
He's got a water canister. He has what looks like a pocket for a knife. And
If
then
this
he
is
has-
a vial, my guy, you have pockets in your pants. This is gonna fall out of your belt in a second, and it's gonna shatter.
It's already on the way out.
You
that's
have
how we
you have
create
breast
suspense
pockets.
in the movie. It's fallen out, you know.
Can I say one thing though? Now that I'm looking at this high res image, Mahershala Ali's beret, it's done properly.
You do like the beret now.
I do. No, because I can see it now. I was looking at the fold on top of the.
You hated the beret.
Where's my beret? My beret's in my
Is he
car.
also wearing Brooklyn's necklace?
Oh,
Alex.
No, that's
They
Wheatley's
passed it.
necklace.
They pass it back and forth.
That's funny.
Maybe
Maybe
you know,
the
something
necklace
happens
is
to
a
him
big
and it
plot
gets
point.
passed on. And
How'd you get this image? This is a good image.
Yeah, it's a cool image.
You can see his bicep
when you
veins.
search Jurassic World Rebirth on Google, like half the stuff is AI, but there's so many Jurassic World Rebirth trailer screenshots like that come from YouTube where it's like Owen and Scarjo, or like an Indominus Rex and Owen and Scarjo.
Hey,
I don't know why it's always Owen and Scarjo. People really want.
I
Owen.
have a crazy explanation for the necklace thing, and it's that they're like military tags of some sort for both of them, probably.
Ooh,
So
Mhm.
that seems like because they're shaped that way.
Do they still do
So-
the dog tags in military now? Like the big dog
Yeah,
tags?
I mean,
It's like a
I
modern
assume I don't know if
interpretation
it's
of that.
completely the same thing, but yeah,
The Daihuog tags.
the Daihuog tags.
It's definitely the secret's definitely dinosaur human dog hybrids though for sure.
Assis,
so
where'd you get
zombies.
Assis? Where'd you get Brooklyn's
Nice.
necklace?
dude, I know, right? When I joined the army, they were like, "Dude, this you won't understand this until a couple of years from now." But like, here's Brooklyn's necklace. I'm like, "It's Brooklyn."
Canadian military have a deal with Universal Pictures.
For those listening, Assis is holding up his dog tags.
My dog tags.
Yeah.
Daihuog tags. Daihuog tags.
So I don't think it's dog tags because that's not how dog tags function. Usually, there's usually a pair of things: one for the body, one for ripping off to take to identify. So I don't think it's that. I think it's more likely that it's not Brooklyn's necklace and just some random pendant that looks like it. Yeah. That's my professional thoughts on the necklace.
What else was
So-
said in this article? Then there was a few. There was he said about the character, and he said about how
The
she
dinosaurs. Yeah.
is having something ethical, having some concerns about what they're doing. So, do you think that she's having some concerns about extracting DNA, or do you think there's something else going on?
You
So it
probably
feels
have
like
to
it
kill
would be the
dinosaur, maybe?
ultimate purpose of the mission is what she ends up having problems with, probably. So the new human lead is Scarlett Johansson, whose operative Zora Bennett is leading an epic dino DNA hunt. This is a quote from Gareth. She's looking for meaning in her life after leaving the military, and this opportunity comes along where after it, basically she'd never have to work again. But through that journey, she starts to question the ethical rights and wrongs of what they're doing. So,
Okay, so dino DNA extraction wasn't the opening of Fallen Kingdom the same thing? Wasn't that they needed
It's
the
the exact
Indominus
same
Rex?
thing.
They needed the
it's not
Indominus
the
Rex
same
DNA.
thing, but they're getting a bone so they can extract DNA from it. Yes,
Right.
Versus extracting fluids from a dinosaur.
With
I
a
mean,
new
they
gun.
say DNA in this article, whereas I don't like. They didn't really specify that it was DNA before.
Genetic material, I think, was
They
said
kind
in
of they kind of just said the three most colossal creatures hold the key to a life-saving something for humankind. They didn't because you can extract a lot of stuff from a living thing besides DNA.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah, look what Eric.
Hello.
but I don't know what just happened, but so they're specifying DNA now. So
It's always DNA.
Yeah.
Only thing with any currency value in the Jurassic universe.
But I don't know. I feel like I don't know if are we assuming DNA because I don't know what life-saving benefit DNA is gonna give to humans unless you're studying and getting something learning something from it or you're pulling something
Regenerative
from
cells
that
or something.
Well, we theorized that maybe one iteration of whether it was the InGen dinosaurs or the Mizrahi dinosaurs have developed or brought a disease that's now spreading and threatening humanity, and maybe the other species of dinosaur which are hard to find, maybe there's only a few of them left, whether that's InGens or Mizrahis, however you want to put it, maybe they hold the key because there's only a few of them left, but they have managed to evade this disease. So they need to find that DNA, specific DNA. And maybe that's why we're going back to Sauna, because that's where the original InGen dinosaurs are.
maybe they have immunity or some quality that
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right. Like there are, in theory, there are. I know that they've said a lot of them have died out, but there are still dinosaurs out in the world. If they needed the DNA, they could very easily get them. Also, Dr. Wu and the Biosyn lab probably still has a lot of that DNA left over. If they needed that, they could just go grab it. Surely.
So
it's
I assume
something
regarding that,
specific.
what I
Say again.
assume is like you would assume you have the DNA kind of just like cataloged and you'd had samples of it already in I guess stored somewhere, right? But the only thing I can assume is the reason you want these specific 3 animals is maybe that they exhibited some sort of like genetic, I don't know, like evolution way quicker than normal, and that their DNA is like just different now because they've evolved to be different for our planet, and like the database is different than what those specific 3 guys have. I guess like maybe they're immune to like the disease that's bothering humanity or something. You know what I mean? Like maybe they have like some sort of protein within their DNA.
Do we really know that there is a disease bothering humanity in the movie though? Because
No.
it's just that's the thing, because the plot only says that it's the dinosaurs that are dying off, not people. It
Yes,
doesn't
and
mention
it's-
anything's wrong with people.
It's for
so-
yeah, they mentioned life-saving benefits for humanity. So you can only
benefits. Yeah.
Does it definitely say humanity?
you can only assume it's a disease, right? That's why there's like quarantine people in New York. There's like biohazard dudes and shit.
Yeah, the
there's
biohazard
something-
stuff in
yeah.
New York.
Together. We're putting pieces together, and I think obviously
Yeah.
everybody thinks that because David Koepp's coming back and the whole idea of Michael Crichton wrote Disease X, maybe it makes sense that they're going to go down that plot line.
Yeah,
And
but
also
I'm just saying,
past-
like, if it's not, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they
case.
just want to maybe they just want to create a drug for humans. Via
Yeah, like to
this
beat
DNA.
cancer or something, or whatever. It could be like used to like regenerate cells or something. I mean, maybe
What if it's
dinosaur cells are
recreational
kind of
and it's
key.
a really good high.
I feel like
Yeah,
Well,
see,
They
there
just
you
want
go.
to create a new recrecreational drug, and
Yeah, I
the,
yeah,
what money is.
that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's the
I mean-
ethical question. She's like, we don't need more recreational.
We're gonna synthesize
you go.
we're gonna synthesize marijuanasaurus. That's what we're gonna do.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
But
think
haven't
cracked
past like story ideas and scripts dealt with possible diseases and certain dinosaurs being immune and things like that? But
Didn't JP3 touch on it briefly?
I'm just saying there have been past ideas like this about life-saving things from dinosaurs, but I was going to say I don't like how the thing we're trying to synthesize, the thing we're trying to get has to be important if we're like going all over the globe and shooting dinosaurs with syringe guns. It has to be fairly important.
Yeah,
Important,
it does have to
or
have-
so they'll make a lot of money.
That too probably.
That's important. That's important. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I mean, he's paid a team. She thinks so. In the new Gareth quote, says that Zora Bennett gets this job, and that means she wouldn't have to work ever again. So she's paid a lot of money to do this job. Yeah, it's obviously either very important for
Do you not
humanity
think the
or
quote
it's very
there?
important for this pharmaceutical company.
It's 2 points that seem to counteract each other a bit. Like she's looking for meaning, so she goes and takes a job that means she would never have to work again. Like, is that not kind of?
Yeah, she found her meaning, bro. She wants to be greedy.
I mean,
It's a valid
she
point.
she doesn't want to go back into the military, so she's trying to find meaning in something else, I guess. But yeah.
In her new relationship with Jonathan Bailey, her new paleontologist beau.
I think there's a lot of
Everyone's
meaning in the
There's
ability
not a
to
romance thread in this film. I really
yeah.
it doesn't.
Oh, it's coming, Jack. You know it's coming. Come on.
I think there's a lot of
When are they
meaning in
gonna
the
kiss?
ability to just retire and never work again. There's some meaning in that. But then
Yes.
if the way you obtain the money and retire is not
Really
good,
shitty.
then yeah, exactly.
So, Alex, let's talk about Jonathan Bailey for a second, because I want to talk about
Yes.
Jonathan Bailey. We've not-
Paleontologist.
like this guy has been going on the tour circuit with Jeff Goldblum, and I didn't even know he was in Wicked. Jeff Goldblum.
They're in my city. They're legit in my
He's not
city.
there, bro. You have to arrange. Jack, talk to your people, and let's get a meeting with the boys. And
Who's
Jaden
Jack's people?
people. Anyway, the point
I'll
is,
call him. I'll call him.
like,
One
it's
of the
so
people.
great because like Jurassic World has now been like in the press tour thanks to Wicked. So like I don't know if like Universal like
It's
saw
their movie. They've 100% planned it.
yeah. There's
They've,
no
I
way
don't know. I
they've
don't
been
think it's that
asking
smart.
everybody about.
JP and Goldblum together in the circuit now. Like it's cool. It's a cool thing. And like
Yeah.
also Alex, the show that you were talking about the other day on the last pod, was it with Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Crashing, yeah.
Crashing.
Yeah, great show. Yeah.
Crashing is the show with Jonathan Bailey, right?
Crashing.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
show.
okay.
Fantastic show. Yeah.
Don't watch
Yeah,
Bridgerton.
I have not
watch
seen a
Crashing.
thing. I think Rebirth is literally going to be the first thing I've seen him in.
Yeah,
JB
me too.
is pretty legitimate. I think he's
Yeah, he definitely is.
yeah.
Bridgerton.
What I
The
gotta
press
say about
tour
JB
images have been fun seeing him with Jeff Goldblum or Dr. Ian Malcolm. It's been cool to see.
In
we have a
Sydney.
doctor again. We have a doctor as a main character, dude. That's a cool thing.
Dr. Ian
Like,
Malcolm and Dr. Henry Lewis.
That's a
Yeah.
cool thing, man.
Bunch of doctors.
Starjo and Dr. Loomis.
Let's talk about that other quote. So he says about dinosaurs, and there's some new crazy dinosaurs in it, but he says it would be a cinematic. What was it? Cinematic.
There's certain dinosaurs it would be a crime against cinema not to include.
Yeah. So
Spinosaurus.
what do we think those are? T-Rex,
I'm
Raptors,
zooming dog.
I think he means
Dialogue.
Brachiosaurus, probably.
Brachiosaurus. Yeah.
It's
Spinosaurus.
coming back, baby. Rebirth
Yes.
of the Spinosaurus.
There we go, baby.
That is what the rebirth is about.
Hey.
The rebirth of the love of Spinosaurus.
been a
You were talking about they
Yeah.
built
Figured it out, finally.
I know, so,
they built
Yeah,
on
like
top
that.
of the dead Brachiosaurus in Fallen Kingdom, so we're rebirthing
Yes.
that too.
And see that they're
But,
gonna
I mean-
stand on the land, and then it's gonna start to rumble, and then it's just gonna start lift them up high into the air, and then like the neck comes out, but it's gonna be like all skeleton, right? But then it's gonna regenerate skin because of the new serum that they're grabbing from all the colossal dinosaurs. If I hear colossal creatures one more time,
they reimagine the Brachiosaurus, the dead one from Fallen Kingdom. They bring it back.
yes,
Ultimate
Yes.
fan service. No, I think there's
Zombie
T-Rex in the logo.
dinosaurs.
We know there's going to be a Jurassic Park T-Rex. Do we think it's going to be a Jurassic Park T-Rex that has been in a movie before, or do we think it's just
No.
going to be?
It better
Gotta
not
hope
be.
not.
When he says when he
I wanna
says it would be a crime
I
against
want my
cinema not to
Rexy
include
back,
them.
cry the fans.
When he says that, I don't think he means the literal like ones we've seen before. I think
No,
he means
no, yeah, but-
species,
No.
hopefully. But yeah.
But can
Yeah,
you,
but
we're not going to see Blue ever again, are we? Like, there's no way.
I fucking hope not, man.
Come on, Blue is fine. What's wrong with Blue? It's not. It's Owens that's the issue. Blue's it's just a dinosaur, dude. Leave her alone.
Died
I
of
hate the
venereal
whole
disease.
raptor squad. All of them just terrible raptors. I hope we never see anything from the world era ever again. But yeah, it'd be weird
She's
to bring.
coming back. I guarantee you, I promise you.
It'd be weird to bring Blue back. What would the purpose be of that?
It'd be more like I
That's
guess
the whole-
Merchandising.
That's the answer to the question: is that there would be no real purpose.
No,
But I
exactly.
guess Blue would be dead, right? They're technically dying because they're like in the northern area.
I
They'd
think
be
that's a jump.
She's
But, like-
invulnerable to plot.
Caleb, I'm sorry, man. She's dead.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
I think-
arguing that she's alive. I'm arguing that dinosaurs can migrate.
They
is
might
all
as
I'm
well have
arguing.
just said. I know, I understand that, but they might as well have just said in the log line, being like, all the dinosaurs we loved from the past are dead. Literally all of them, including Blue and Beta. This is the future.
Imagine they put that.
That's not what they said. But
They do a news report. Blue is dead. Thank you.
And Maisie too. Oh my god, Maisie died.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I don't think they'll touch on it. I don't think they feel any need to.
no,
There is no need. It did feel quite wrapped up.
It's
in
tied
the
up,
whole
yeah.
trilogy anyway. So
They
I
got a baby, it
also,
ran off into the sunset.
yeah, I also don't think Universal have the balls to kill off Blue, in my opinion, either.
not on screen, but
Not
there'll
on
be,
screen.
There'll
Yeah.
be some tie-in somewhere.
we're gonna get a headstone in this next Jurassic trilogy. At some point. We're gonna get a shot of a headstone, and it's gonna say, "Here lies Blue,
Blue and Beta.
beloved Velociraptor of Owen Grady."
Murdered
Died because
too
she
young.
was so blue. So blue.
No, okay, but anyway, so we definitely are going to get T-Rex. It's in the logo. There has to be a T-Rex.
Yes,
I think we also-
Gallimimus.
I think we also might have a return of the, if you want to call them classic raptors. I think we might see bloodthirsty raptors again, ones that aren't friendly and pets. I think
You have a
we might-
chance to. Mosasaur.
and
For sure.
and if if we're going to sauna, I don't know if we are, but if we're going to sauna, then obviously there's a chance that we could see iconic raptors from the franchise before. Not the same ones that were on screen in JP3, for example, but maybe we run into
William.
Yes.
Yes.
William.
Yes. The
Quilliam
Quilliam
and McFlurry.
Yeah,
Well,
McFlurry.
no,
I'm never gonna. No,
that's the worst thing that's come out.
I'm not gonna do it, Jack. I'm with you, man. I'm not
Is it the worst thing? Is it?
No.
William McFlurry.
There's worse. There's worse.
That's the worst thing that's come out.
Sir Quilliam?
First of
Put
all,
some respect on Sir Quilliam, man.
you guys were, if these people were born back in the day, they would know that it wasn't McDonald's who had a JP3 sponsorship. It was Burger King. So figure it out.
Yeah.
Come at
I don't have a Burger
Ooh.
King.
That
Lost
So.
World. Yeah.
Figure it out, Mr. Whopper. Mr. They have like a Sunday of some sort. I'm sure, right?
Chicken
Like,
Royale.
Chicken Royale.
What language are y'all speaking right now? Chicken Royale.
Fast
What is
food.
that?
Mm.
You're telling me, Caleb. I'm from Australia. We don't have a Burger King.
I tried to order from in the Lost World.
You have Burger King in Australia.
Nah, it's called
Sure.
Hungry Jack's. It's trash.
Hungry Jacks.
Yeah, that's what it's called too. It's called Hungry Jack's.
Whopper called.
Jack, are you
The,
that hungry, Jack?
the Whopper is called the Whopper still.
Dude, I think the Whopper is the best fast food sandwich on the market. I don't care what anyone says.
I do like the Whopper. Did you
It's
try
good.
did you try the Wednesdays Whopper, the purple one?
No.
What? No, I didn't.
Did you see that?
I
They
think
did it.
Burger
Sounds
King is
disgusting.
not good, but
Burger
that's just my
King's
opinion.
great in the UK.
Smite.
You have fucking In-N-Out. You have like Shake Shack and all that crap. You have all the good shit down there.
Caleb, you strike me as a Panera kind of guy.
I'm not.
So
no, I'm
bad
not.
for you, though.
Not
Jay,
Panera
I'm
either. But
invested in this Hungry Jack's thing. It is literally the Burger King logo and everything.
Yeah.
oh
Why,
wow.
why is
I'm
it
not
free
wrong.
branded?
If you guys don't like Burger King, that's a
Well,
lot
it's
of.
weird.
I think
because,
I've
like-
heard about it before, because isn't there another chain called Burger King in Australia?
Yeah, but that's
They're
only
very
in New
small.
Zealand though. Yeah, I guess, but like I've never seen one.
Alex,
Hey,
not-
there's this
I am
place.
New
There's this
Zealand.
orange place called Whataburger, and it is the best. So
I've heard about
Whataburger is very dry. I've had it before. If you
Ooh,
like
that's
come
dry
have it.
burgers, dry
come
meat,
have it in
you-
Texas.
Come at me, boys. Come at me. It's
You know
dry.
what?
Hell of a
feel like-
pivot.
I feel like all of the fast food chains in Canada are pretty bad compared to
Have you had Harvey's?
Hardee's.
Hey,
Harvey's.
you know what I want? You know what I want?
Have it. Don't even talk
What
to
do you
me.
want, Caleb? What do you want?
3 double cheeseburgers with everything. No onions on mine.
And
And an apple turnover.
Everything comes back to the Lost World. It's love.
It's always full
Well,
circle.
Lost World had the most love from Burger King, actually, because
Watches.
they had like the watches and
The
everything.
watches.
and-
Those watches
the
are amazing.
watches. Yeah,
Burger
Lost,
King, baby.
come
Burger
on.
King again.
Lost World is king. Will always be king.
Lost
No,
World is the
why?
Burger King.
Why be a king when you could be a god like Jurassic Park 3?
Yes.
Yes.
I will say though, guys, I'm not proud. I'm not proud of this, but in my condo, I do have a framed The Lost World poster.
You're not
Yes.
proud
You
of
should be
it.
proud of that.
Yeah.
You guys not seen this
To be
before?
proud of. Something to be proud of.
It's that in Jurassic World. That's the only Jurassic
Wow.
posters I have.
Wow.
Well, it seems you must be celebrating with the new release of the Jurassic Park 3 soundtrack that has extra.
I am, Derek. Thank you
Yes.
for reminding me. Have you pre-ordered your copy? Because I have.
Yes,
I
but
have,
they haven't
yes.
shipped yet. They had a delay in
no,
shipping
it's
twice,
after a
I
while.
think. Yeah, so no one has it yet.
All
Yeah,
major
but,
theme parks
what's-
have delays.
La La Land Records. They've done stuff with Jurassic in the past, and they're doing a Jurassic Park
times.
soundtrack. They finally have also gotten. I guess they've woken up to the reality of what Jurassic Park 3 is. Just bang the soundtrack. I think it actually has top 3 soundtrack in the franchise, which is, I guess, not saying much, but it's a good soundtrack.
That's saying
Well,
a
did-
whole lot, actually, Assis.
I agree. I think the JP3 soundtrack.
Don Davis
I don't know
did a
if you
really
wanna
good
say
job.
it's
Don
underrated or not, but Don Davis did some really nice.
Don Davis is
Oh, yeah.
legitimate in Matrix and stuff, so he knows his way around the music sheet, if you will. La La Land Records, though, this package is a cool package. It's a cool thing.
Do
It's
you like the cover?
I love everything about this. That's why I mean, the fact that
They've nailed the covers of these.
The skeletons of the pteranodons as well up in the sky.
No,
Like,
it's
come
it's
on,
La La Land Records puts love and care into their releases. So, like, if you got an extra couple bucks lying around, and you want a cool physical copy, Alex has something to say about this. Alex,
You say this, and I
I
don't
know you
want
could
to
do that.
I don't want to shit on them at all. But in the very first release they did, the Jurassic Park and Lost World, the 2 disc, they forgot the fucking teeth on the
Oh,
T-Rex.
yeah.
But
Oh
there's-
my
okay,
God.
there is an explanation though. There's like, okay, so
They gotten
believe it
better
or
with-
not.
They gotten better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but there's an explanation with the teeth though. So apparently, whenever like they give like the assets for the Jurassic Park logo, sometimes it doesn't have the teeth because it's like on a different layer or something. And you've seen it in products for Jurassic Park before. They used to have these hard hats at Jurassic Park the ride that would have the T-Rex logo on it, and sometimes they would not have teeth on them. So no,
Maybe
I
that's
remember
what we're
that.
gonna get in Dominion. Not Dominion. Fuck. Rebirth. We're gonna get a really old T-Rex,
Yes!
no teeth, just gumming
That's
people.
a dummy.
Yeah, and
Gummy
we're
Rex.
that's what the syringe gun is for. We got to numb it before we put its dentures in.
Oh, she's a dentist. That's the twist. Oh
Yeah,
my
Dino
god.
Dentist.
And
Yes.
it circles back to Dinotopia.
Do we
They have
have
librarians
love
and
that.
dentists.
No, with La La Land, I hope
Yes.
they continue this and do. I mean, it would be awesome to have the Jurassic World trilogy expanded soundtracks too. That would be really cool. So
Yeah, I think they have to wait a certain time period for royalty reasons so they can afford to do it because they're just like a small company basically. Like they
do
have
we have a track list
associations.
is there a track list for the JP3 one?
Yes,
On the
there's
website,
sound
with the
clips
previews.
too. Yeah.
And is it
Is it remastered? I
extended?
don't remember if it was remastered. I don't think it was, right? It's not remastered, right? It's just like a reissuing, right?
No, it's remastered. Has additional music that's not on the CD. You didn't know that?
Additional
Yeah.
music? Okay, that's what I wanted.
I thought it was
Here's the link. There you go.
Is
Have a look.
Big Cat No Cattle on there?
Derek, you sent me the extended edition before, like the extended edition. I think it was
Oh,
you.
that was like a bootleg from like the composer promo kind of
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But this has more than that. This has more than even that. It's like this has tracks that have never been like leaked online before or anything. So it's like
Hell
the
yeah.
most that's ever been released. Yeah.
Does it have Randy Newman?
3,000 units.
It does. It has the Big Hair No Cattle song.
Oh yeah, it actually does.
It does. I'm surprised
Oh,
it does too.
You guys notice this? I never noticed this in the cover itself. That there's Billy. Billy's in there.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Is it Billy?
Is it
Yeah.
Billy or is it
I thought
Eric
it was
and
Ben
his?
and Eric.
Oh,
yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
Ben. Could be Ben.
Oh, maybe.
Bone
No,
Man
I
Ben.
think you're right. I think it's Billy because the sails
Man
all
Ben.
torn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
They've
It's
done
just
a
good
really,
stuff.
they have done a really good job with that.
it
cover.
will look
I'm
really
definitely
nice.
buying
along
it.
with
There-
the steps.
there are so many tracks that are going to be on there. That's amazing.
Jaden, this is, you know what, man? Like, you're so
This
lucky.
is our
You're
era.
You're seeing the JP3 renaissance in your youth. I've had to live a while before I saw it. I'm
Yeah.
an old mustache. I got
Just a little while.
God damn. Thank
You
God
should
it's finally
shut
happening.
the podcast for liking the third movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've always liked the third movie, but in the past 10 years, I've come around to it even more. It's like
It's the best, dude. I'm telling
Fine
you. Go
wine. It is fine wine.
it's a lot of
They
fun.
literally stick their hands in shit.
Yes.
Yep.
They did that in
That
the
is
first
so
film.
iconic that Colin Trevorrow tried to mimic that, and he couldn't do it, so he cut that scene.
They deleted the scene. Yeah.
I think they just couldn't do it 2 movies in a row.
I'm just saying, tried his best, couldn't do it. Joe Johnson did it.
I want to circle back to the photo real quick for Scarjet or Zora Bennett holding the gun.
Yes, please.
Did you guys see Joshua's message in the group chat yesterday with the PG writing on the gun?
Oh, yeah.
What do
I
you
had
think
a
that
mini heart attack when I saw that.
Yeah.
Subtly
So-
trying to tell us this movie's PG.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a soft launch. I don't know if it's a soft launch on the rating, but like it wouldn't surprise me if it is because all of them are PG-13. But like,
No,
if it is right.
Just give the listeners some context in case they haven't spotted this on the gun.
Oh, okay. So on the gun, if you like zoom in right at the end of the right-hand side of the scope, like right underneath, it says PG, and then it has a
And the
little
party
circle
gun.
next to
It's
the G.
the manufacturer or something, correct?
You reckon?
Prince George gunsmithing. That's a compliment.
Am I looking too much into it? Was my tweet yesterday too deep?
It's the rating of the movie put on
I think it's the
the
dumbest
Yeah.
manufacturer in the world.
It's just the font. The font of it seems a bit weird compared to the rest of the font on the gun. That's the only reason why,
it matches the
bit at
font
it.
I think we saw on the vehicles as well. Some of that little subscript.
Okay. Well,
I don't necessarily know if that means anything.
I
in a
won't say my
connection
whole
with the two.
tangent then about how they said it's a new era and stuff like that. I'll leave that out. Because I was going to tie it back into.
Look,
What do you got?
out
What do you got?
of the 6 of us on this podcast, who would take an R rate? Who wants it to go R rated?
I think everyone.
Me.
Yeah, every.
I mean, it depends. It depends. In what sense? Just because of the gore? Sure.
No, not
No,
gore,
just in tone
tone.
too, because the books
Yeah.
were R-rated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah,
the
it's not
movie-
a violence thing, I
More
don't think.
than something that is like.
I want more than one
older.
fuck.
I want one. Oh,
I think you can have one fuck in a PG-13.
you can have
can.
one.
I want more than one.
But
You
we
mean the
haven't
word,
even had
right?
we haven't
I
even
want a
had
bag of
one in
fucks.
Jurassic. We haven't even had one. So
I will take back everything
I
I
always
said,
think-
and I will never complain if they drop fuck, because then
I
I'll
always think
believe
Ellie's
it's a
I want an
screaming it in
F-bomb.
JP, but I don't know if she actually is. Like, it looks like she's going, "Oh fuck!" But
Yeah.
I want full frontal nudity in my Jurassic Park movie.
Yes.
see,
Fuck
And,
it, you know
and the dinosaurs.
We've
We've
gotten
gotten the
that
dinosaurs.
every
Yeah.
dinosaur in this franchise has
The
been.
Cox and Bollockson. Let's go. Let's go full. Let's go full. Let's do it.
You
I
need
just feel
full
like
frontal.
the main audience has grown up with the original trilogy. We've all matured. As much as they can make a nice,
These haven't.
tonally
I haven't. Look at me. I'm still,
questionable, but as much as they can make a tonally quote unquote dark movie with a PG-13, I just want Jurassic. I feel like Jurassic deserves to go R-rated. It deserves to have a bit more feeling like in the original books. At the end of the day, you're dealing with stuff that's going to rip you to shreds.
Yeah.
I don't want it to hold back on that. But there is some. You've seen it's leaked again recently, but you saw the dead parasaur.
Mhm.
And I saw a picture yesterday, I think, of that.
That's a bucket of guts.
bathtub full of guts.
All the guts and gore.
Yeah.
And there's been a few behind the scenes pictures now that we've seen where there's been like full on
A lot of
gore on
violence.
display.
A lot of violence, a lot of death.
Yeah, and while it can be shot in a way that's like kind of avoided and stuff, it's like, why would they make every organ from inside that dinosaur as a prop?
It looks
They're not
like,
gonna show it. Like what?
you know, when you like watch Mythbusters in the past. I don't know if you guys watched Mythbusters, but like, you know, when they have like a dummy set up and like, let's launch
Yeah.
some random crap at it, and it like, explodes everywhere. It's like, it looks like that. It looks like
Yeah,
this thing exploded.
It does. That's true. I'm very curious to see if that will influence the rating. I think we've discussed. I always forget it, but it goes in America. It goes PG-13 to directly to R, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
I forget that as well.
Silly that there needs to be something in between. I want the UK rating has. I want a 15. I think a 15 would be a very.
It
goes-
now, I don't think.
Oh, there is a.
What's
I mean,
that,
it
Alex?
could go to 15, but like R is 17 years old technically in the US.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Alex, what did you say? They don't do
I
15
don't think,
anymore.
no, they do it, but I don't think we get that many 15 films. I think studios deliberately target either 12A or 18. I think they're like, you know, one teen is as good as the other. They're either going for the whole spectrum or
Yeah, see, Australia is like different. It's like PG, M, then MA, and then
Right
occasionally
away.
R.
Right away. If you're not 8 years old, you're 18 years old.
Yeah. So we have all
With
that.
with the organs and all that stuff, maybe if there is a virus or a disease, maybe there's an aspect of it that is bursting out of organisms. Like maybe that's
Or
why
they're
it's
cannibalizing each other.
No,
Yeah.
Or
you
the
guys
dinosaurs
talked about
Making them go
aliens,
crazy.
Ripping.
Alien and Jurassic morphing together in the last podcast. There you go. There's your Xeno.
but also whatever secret is inside the temple could be killing the dinosaurs
Could
that
be
we're
ripping
encountering.
them to shreds.
Yeah.
Like ripping their organs out and eat. Like, because there's that scene in the novel, in the original Jurassic Park novel, where Dennis Nedry's death in the novel is described as his intestines are ripped out and he's holding them.
He's holding
He
it.
feels
Yeah.
them in his hands.
Like,
Yeah.
I want that
Where did this
in
come
Rebirth.
from?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see
The
that.
Parasaurolophus felt its intestines.
Well,
in
that's
its
what I was.
hand.
That's what I was like more aiming towards. Like, if they keep the same formula of like the movies and stuff like that, it doesn't really give much room for games as we've seen in the past like decade. If they keep this PG-13 formula,
I mean,
you know.
I was gonna say that if it's gonna be PG-13, I
Yeah.
think, but like
Yeah, 100%.
if it is indeed PG-13, there is compared to. I mean, I love the last 3 Jurassic World films, but compared to them, there is more you can do within PG-13 than is being done.
Yeah.
Also, so
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
And I think that's
Especially,
where
I
it's
mean,
what they need to explore, and the benefit they do have is that the audience that have grown up with the Jurassic World trilogy are now older, so they can hopefully, instead of thinking, "Oh, we need to push it on kids and get kids," it's like let's just mature with the audience. Maybe that would be.
The
only
run up
thing-
to Rebirth so far hasn't felt that way to me. Like we're targeting it at kids at all. It's felt like we're targeting
It's
it
more
at
of an adult
fans.
feel.
But yeah,
I'm very concerned. Only it's not even related to Jurassic in a sense, but like I'm concerned that I don't trust Frank Marshall and Kathleen Kennedy as much as I used to, just because of what I think it was Hollywood Reporter put out about Star Wars. It's like, dude, if Kathleen Kennedy's making these giant decisions, and like Frank Marshall just gave us these 3 movies in the past, like, why do we all of a sudden trust them to shepherd us into a new
That's
future
what I've been
when?
saying from the start of Cease is that as much as we
Yeah,
have
but it hit
Kath
home
and
for me.
Gareth,
Like, dude, I was like sitting at home, like, dude, Star Wars is dead. Like, I'm like, is this what's gonna happen to Jurassic? Because like nothing's really changed in behind the scenes. Like, it's the same creative forces. The only thing that we can hope has changed is based off the universal notes on the scripts, being like, "Yo, Dominion script's not that great," and we recognize that, but like, it's too late. That's all
and
we kind of
Universal
have.
is still protective over the IP as well.
I think that I mean I've been saying from the start we do have Gareth, we do have Kep. Those are great forces, but the true company
The true
behind it,
forces
and
behind the scenes.
Spielberg, Frank Marshall, and Pat Crowley are the same people that brought us the world era and pushed a lot of the world ideas. But
Yeah,
also, we
it's
don't
like
have
you can't
Colin
trust
who
them
wrote
anymore,
those
man.
screenplays.
Yeah, they're like a generation behind in a way. Like, I don't know if that's like fair to say, but like if you look at Frank Marshall's producing history now, especially after the World trilogy, like, dude, there's a lot of misses. There's a lot of misses in there. Like,
Don't
Jason
forget, he
Bourne,
also
Assassin's
directed
Creed.
Congo.
Yes.
And
Love
Arachnophobia.
Congo.
That's not a good thing,
Yes.
guys. The only movie that matters is 8 Below. Rest in peace, Paul.
Oh,
Wow,
Yeah.
that is such a good
Come at
movie.
me.
I
Come
think
at me.
that David Kep and Gareth Edwards and a brand new cast are gonna have a lot of power. I think.
But
I don't
guys,
know. I feel like Gareth wouldn't have signed on if it's something that felt like a world era movie because his
And-
love is about the first one. He's always
Yeah.
talking about the first movie. He's not saying
guys,
he
it
loves
was
the-
also David.
and with what everyone outside the production has been saying about it too, like
Yeah,
just
but-
people have
but-
been talking about what they've heard about it.
Yeah,
But-
and we have the guy who's
What have
friends
they
with
heard?
we have that Impractical Joker. What's it? Impractical Jokers guy that's friends with Colin Jost. So we
Q.
Oh
assume
yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah, 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 yeah.
read the script. He said back to basics in an awesome way and stuff, and you kind of hope that, but then also they said the same thing with the world era. They kept saying each iteration of the world movies, they were like, well, this one feels like the first movie, and I watched it and I was like, where?
That's why I'll believe
does
it
it
when I
feel like
see
the
it.
first movie?
At this
I think the
point.
first movie means a lot of different things to a lot of different people because there's so much going on in it. Like, you talk
It's a
to someone
mess.
about it and why they love it. No. There's a lot of different reasons to fall in love with it. I mean, for me,
Exactly.
I think the world it opens up, it's got great design, great music,
Yeah.
great cinematography, great cast. You know, it's for me because it's the whole package. Other people are just like, well, it's because it's dinosaurs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting for each of you, like, what is the reason you connect with it so much? Because I'm sure it's different.
It's like, yeah, for me, it's the characters. I don't really give a shit about the dinosaurs that much. Like, if it were up to me, each Jurassic Park film would have the only dinosaurs that we see in Jurassic Park. Like, I don't give a shit about having 30
Agreed.
million. Like, I don't
Yes.
give a fuck.
There's always this misconception that like I love dinosaurs. I don't give a fuck.
No, I
about
don't give a
dinosaurs.
fuck about
I
dinosaurs.
really don't. It's
I don't
never
know
been
shit
about
about-
the dinosaurs for me. I couldn't care less. It's the
Same.
Jurassic Park dinosaurs are the only ones I give a fuck about.
Thank
Like,
you, Jack.
The
Thank
world
you,
they
Jack.
create. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the world. It's the universe. It's that
It's the
feeling. It's like
fucking
The people
characters.
in it.
it's
Yeah.
like in the Lost World when it's just like the secrecy and there's this other island and it's just a mystery leading up to it. I don't know. Just all of that is what I love about it. Is the
You don't
tone.
even need the dinosaurs. You can replace the dinosaurs with like weird Congo apes, and I'm sure within the same structure, it's going to be just as great as long as it's set.
I've got a movie for you to watch then.
Yeah.
Not heated after the podcast. It's just talking about one image and a quote. Not bad. Good. That's a good sign. We're pumped.
Woo.
But I think
Let's watch Congo.
I think Gareth. If you look at Gareth's movies, none of them are upbeat, child friendly. I mean, they're not child friendly, but they're like Godzilla is tonally.
Not happy. Not a happy movie.
Yeah,
it's not happy to happy.
There's a feeling of dread through a lot of his movies, and I think that's what the franchise has been missing for a while, is this feeling of dread almost. And maybe
there's dinosaurs here. You know,
maybe Gareth wouldn't have signed on if it was something that was, he's going to make some sloppy blockbuster. Like
he was about to go on retirement for a while, wasn't he? Or like not retirement, but like a break. Yeah,
exactly. He was working on his own shit for a while. Yeah.
That's why I like his quote so much in the Empire thing about tension and playing games with the audience, because I hope that's what he's talking about when he's talking about going back to the original, is the tension and the game, like the audience on the edge of their seat because of what you put on the screen.
Like at the end of the day,
back to that.
Gareth Edwards needs a hit only because the last two movies he did, one of them was Rogue One, and it was super successful, but they had a lot of behind the scenes stuff that, like, Gareth may have not finished the movie itself, and then The Creator was like a really cool movie, but like it didn't make money. So like the next movie he does, he kind of needs it to be like kind of like re-cementing himself in the industry, being like, hey, I'm for real.
Are you saying he needs a rebirth?
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Oh!
The Creator was very well received, though, was it not?
It was very well received, but it didn't make money. And at the end of the day, that matters to the studio system, especially given
not
how
make money. Holy shit! Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it didn't make any money, man. So
it should have
on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me go on the
so
actual.
Gareth needs this to be a hit as much as we all want this to be a hit. If that makes sense. So Gareth has a lot.
I think the whole franchise needs it to be a hit. To be honest, like
exactly. So like, the only
there's a lot riding on this.
Yeah, so Gareth being like needing this kind of like makes me be like, okay, he won't be like, time to ditch my movie. I was supposed to go and like work on my movie. Oh, I'll go do Jurassic, even under this weird time constraint, budget constraint, story constraint, whatever it may be. I'll go do it anyway, so I think I can do a good job, and it'll help my career. That's the way I see it.
Speaking of budget constraints, did y'all see one of the quote tweets on the ScarJo image yesterday? Said Gareth Edwards can create, or what did it say? It said Gareth Edwards is capable of creating great sci-fi images without having the budget of a small country. It's like, okay,
we don't know that right now. We don't know that. We don't know that right now. We don't know what the budget is.
I'm very curious on the.
Yeah, we don't know what the budget is, but like the visual
300 million
was good.
We don't know.
Fucking ridiculous money, but I mean, if it pays off. But that's the thing. The thing that worries me is David Leitch was attached for so long, and I can't understand them thinking he would be appropriate, and then jumping to Gareth and thinking, he would be appropriate too. It's like,
because Gareth is the perfect choice. We've always talked about Gareth.
No, Gareth is, but if they were thinking David Leitch was, his movies are the complete opposite.
It's not a Gareth movie. What can Gareth give to us under the constraints he's been dealt?
I think also based on stuff that we heard around that time, like, and stuff that we've heard since about production, like Gareth has like had some input and has at least tried to change some things and done some stuff like that. But
he also Gareth's got proof of working with next to nothing budget too, with monsters, and that movie is a very character driven. Really,
he did a lot of it himself, so he understands how the shit works.
I think the budget's going to go to the right places. Yeah,
I think he knows what he's doing. But what were you saying about Rogue One? He didn't finish the movie.
So the story is Gary Whitta originally wrote the original draft of the movie, and then Gareth did the first little bit of it. And then you can even see in like the first trailer they released versus the last trailers, you can see a lot of the movies changed. A lot of scenes aren't there. So Tony Gilroy had to come in and kind of save the movie. And like even the Darth Vader stuff that you see at the end of the movie, I think Tony Gilroy shot that after the fact in reshoots. So like that wasn't in Garrett's movie. They changed a lot of the fact that I think Darth Vader was supposed to kill everyone in the Rogue One crew originally.
It was a mess. It was a mess of a production for sure.
Yeah. Like Gareth got away being like, "Hey, if you just leave, it's okay."
There were issues like serious creative differences and a lot of stuff like that, I think. But like I don't know what the end portion of how much Gareth did, how much Gilroy
I think
did.
I think we definitely can see that Tony Gilroy was a large part of Rogue One just based off seeing Andor now, season 1. Like I think Tony Gilroy pretty much saved that movie. Like, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, take that for what you will. Yeah, that was Gareth's second studio movie. So,
yeah,
second studio movie.
But if you go off of
from monsters to Godzilla, what a jump!
If you go off of Godzilla and monsters and the creator, then like there's at least 3 out of 4. So, and the parts of Rogue One that you take, but yeah.
And now we're in Jurassic World Rogue Rebirth.
Rogue One. We know that somebody else hasn't been brought in yet to direct the Rebirth,
which is good. Which is a good sign.
Gareth is there on set in New York.
Yeah, I think.
By the way,
whatever issues Gareth had, like, if that is what the problem was, like there was problems with Gareth. I think that they're behind him. I think so. Yeah.
Well, thank God for Rogue One. I'll just say that best Star Wars movie we've gotten in what fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
But what about Mandalorian and Grogu? That's going to be something.
No, thank you.
Not a Star Wars guy, so I can't really comment. But there was just
Trekkie.
There was too much. There was just too much.
Who's the Trekkie? Who said that? Derek?
Is it Trekkie?
No,
I like all of it.
Yeah, this is not a Star Wars podcast.
Not yet.
Well, it's an Alien podcast, so why not?
Oh no, Alien. Let's talk about Alien.
Did you see the Did you see the footage from Alien Earth?
No, this.
Yeah, there was a teaser.
Like a little teaser.
Send it my way. Send it my way, please.
Alien Romulus. Disney Plus, fucking Disney.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Alien Romulus, I think, has only increased in my ratings. I think probably third best Alien movie now. Like more than Prometheus, more than Alien 3. Jack, sorry.
Get out of here.
Romulus is a special movie. Like I think it's infinitely rewatchable for like several reasons. Like I've watched it. Like it's if you put it on in the background and just like do stuff, it's a very JP3-esque movie. It's just like pure Alien.
It was a lot of fun. I just think they really needed to pull back on the whole quotes from previous.
Yes,
it was just there was a few too many.
This movie is fantastic.
Hey, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is going to grow on us all in the same way over time.
I think it will.
Sorry, buddy.
I think it will a bit, but not to the extent as the first 3.
I think the world...
JP3, baby, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think the world era isn't going to be looked back on too fondly. I don't even think it is.
Aside from Jurassic World, I think Jurassic World is legitimately good. Like, legitimately.
Yeah.
It's a good
I was saying to Caleb the
film.
other day when I flipped through clips
I love it.
and pull them out and use them in videos. Jurassic World is the only one that I think, well, this one does feel like a movie. It does.
It's a weird thing to say, right? But
the
it's
thing
true.
about this
it feels
movie
like a movie.
Is it feels like a movie.
Jurassic World is good. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm still not a fan, but I think it's a personal, just a personal thing.
It's because we were so invested in Jurassic Park 4, and we never really got that until I guess.
Never got it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But it does flow as a film. It has a nice beginning, middle.
Yeah, it's sick. It's a sick amusement park.
Well, it looks pretty good. It's too bright. Yeah. It is too bright, especially the stuff in the deep jungle. It's like being blasted from all angles with light. But
that sequel, though. How about that sequel?
Minion, I know. Great.
Is the only good thing about
you guys,
my favorite character.
Before we end the pod, like you guys, your opinion on Dominion hasn't changed at all since it released, right? Like, you guys still all hate it.
Yeah, but
Really?
I've
I
started
don't
to
hate it.
dislike it a bit more after watching it, and like
I enjoy
talking to you guys a bit
Dominion a
more and
lot,
stuff.
but
I'm
yeah.
with Caleb. I'm still with. I still like it. I still like it for what it is. Alex, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on it now?
Like again, I can enjoy moments from it, but it does feel messy. And there's also the COVID effect to
Yeah.
apply to it
Doesn't
because
it make it
like some of the
easier
editing is
knowing
really
that you
weird.
have? But like we know, like when I watched it recently, I was like, oh, I know that there's a 7th movie coming out literally in a few months. This is easier for me to swallow now.
I guess when you put it
It's
that way,
better.
in the way
It's
that the
easier to,
Atroce
like,
Raptors are getting like really good treatment in Chaos Theory, I guess it's
oh, that too.
Yeah.
Forget about Chaos.
yeah.
That's a separate thing. Like I think about the World trilogy and then the Chaos Theory stuff separately because Chaos Theory
Oh,
is
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
I
make sense.
Nice.
I wake up each morning and I'm grateful that we have 6 Jurassic Park movies and we're about to get a 7th one.
Oh, well, stop being so diplomatic, man.
I would be grateful, but I am scared. Like for the gaming part of the Jurassic franchise.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Good
games.
tangent. Yeah,
Oh,
good
Survival.
segue.
Nice.
Segue.
Very nice tangent. Very nice. Survival it's almost been a year since it was announced, and in June we had the thing where they told us a little about the game. They released a couple more screenshots, but it's been dead quiet since then, and I'm not sure that they're going to be at the Game Awards. But Jaden, tell us, there's a Game Awards in December, right?
Yeah, I think it's December 12th. I think somewhere around like between the 10th and the 20th, one of those dates.
Nomination coming.
Yes, in the where is it? The Peacock Theater in LA. Is that right, Caleb? I think you mentioned it.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
correct.
I think it's there. Yeah. So there's nothing really happening with Survival.
This was
and,
the this this was the event last year that the trailer
Yeah.
was released at,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So this time, Game Awards last year, I was actually moving houses, but my phone blew up because Jurassic Park Survival got announced exactly 1 year ago. So this is why I guess we've been saying on some of the podcasts as well, like if especially now because Empire Magazine released the image, if we get a teaser trailer during the Thanksgiving NFL weekend and stuff like that, where 10 years ago at that same time they released the Jurassic World teaser trailer, they'll kickstart the 10-year anniversary for Jurassic World next year for 2025.
It has been written in the sacred books.
Yeah. So when you look
It
at
shall
everything
happen.
as like a madman, when you pin everything and stuff like that, it all makes sense. But as we all know, Universal don't do the smart things. But yeah, so in the next 2 weeks will kind of be pretty important if they do drop a teaser trailer, because then I can see them dropping something at the Game Awards just to create more hype. But yeah, it's just very dicey at the moment. There's like no news, and even Frontier is quiet about Jurassic World Evolution 3. There's like nothing coming out of them. So
Because they don't know what to do. They're like, how do we make
everyone's in
park
limbo.
management sim even worse? How do we do it? They don't know what to do.
But
we
yeah,
were
like
talking about how whether or not there was going to be a Rebirth tie-in game also. Like,
Oh fuck yeah.
like
Well,
whether
no, we
that's
don't
even going to happen. But-
Assis, I want to get your opinion on this. Do you think that a Jurassic World Rebirth tie-in game would be a fun thing?
No, because
I think that's what Evolution would be, though.
That's what
No,
I was
no,
going to say. Is maybe
Yeah.
Jurassic World
Rebirth,
Evolution 3 has
the
that
game,
storyline.
like-
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like remember back in the Jade, maybe you were too young for this actually. Back in the
probably
day.
remember.
So okay, I think it stopped in the roughly 2010s, 2013 era.
Because
that time.
Avatar, I think Avatar, the original Avatar, had a tie-in.
Yeah, so basically most major movies that would come out in summer would have a shitty video game tie-in. Yeah, exactly. Made within a
That's
12-month
so funny.
development time, right? So you understand, right? So we
Yeah.
technically wouldn't want a Jurassic World Rebirth game because it'd be developed under really shitty time constraints and fucking no resources at all, especially considering Universal. So
But
we
I'd
wouldn't
take it at this point.
No,
I'd
you
take
wouldn't.
it.
Because I'm
I'd
telling
take
you,
it.
you
Third
want this.
person running around as ScarJo having to collect DNA samples with a gun. Fuck it, give it to me. We don't have Jurassic games.
Would you
You
take?
just want
Would
to
you
scan
take
command
a?
back.
Would you take a Jurassic World Rebirth tie-in game if Jurassic Park Survival got canceled?
No.
Don't say that.
So,
Oh
okay,
god.
no, guys, the question
Why
is
would you
this:
ever
would
utter
you
those
really
words?
want
It's
I'm
like
sorry.
Voldemort.
the next Jurassic World game to come out or Jurassic Park game to come out and just fucking suck? Because that just hurts the entire brand moving forward. That tells Universal, well, it's probably not true, but like, hey, we made a video game. It didn't do shit for us. People hated it. We're not going to do video games anymore, even though they know they didn't put the resources or the time or the effort into making it.
But that's always been their issue. Every Jurassic
Yeah.
Park franchise game
Exactly.
is like
Which
a
is why we don't have a good
educational.
Jurassic Park game. It'll never
And-
happen. Like,
and-
you guys are suggesting Naughty Dog and stuff. Naughty Dog wouldn't even like they would never take on such a
Restricted,
franchise. It's
like-
You
so
know,
restricted.
genuinely, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that the budget, the profit, has to go to both Universal and Amblin. It's split, but Universal are the ones that would up front.
They own it though, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but I think there's always an issue with that on their end. Is thinking, well, we don't want to,
And then you have
they're
to
not gonna-
split
they're never going to make as much because half of it has
publisher
to
and
go to Amblin
developers
anyway.
too. Which is probably why games haven't been made. I guess if you think about it, if you have to do such aggressive revenue sharing,
Yeah.
if you have game developers, you have to do like the QA, like Jaden, like there's the developer, publisher, QA testers, then marketing for that itself.
I don't think
that's
it's
gonna
only
cost
just
you-
that though. I think it's also the IP protection that Universal and Amblin do. Like no guns, no violence,
Yep,
no blood,
yep.
all
That's
that
ridiculous.
shit. Like
They have
that's
to-
what. Yeah, but they're not gonna do it though because they haven't done it, and
Well,
that's
wait,
why.
they have been. For arcades, how are the arcade
Yeah.
systems?
I guess
which is-
because it was early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like
Well, no, because they had Jurassic
even
Park
newer one,
Arcade in
man.
like 2018, which was
Yeah, the
oh,
newer
yeah.
ones.
Jurassic
You
Park
blast
4.
dinosaurs all day long, baby.
but
Yeah,
that's
you
probably
just
just
shoot
yeah.
dinos. as
It's
much
like
as
we
you
said
can.
earlier. They don't. At the end of the day, they don't care if it makes money. So
That's the thing. I think you're right though. The approval process and getting it vetted and stuff. It's they the reason Jurassic World Survivor kept having issues was Universal, or I would say Amblin. Well, we don't want to shoot the dinosaurs. It's like, well, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
This item?
Stab 'em.
Oh my
We're-
god!
we're
That's why
shooting
they
them
had
with a syringe in the next movie.
Dude, you guys remember in the Lost World game? Oh, not the Lost World game. The Jurassic Park the game. They had Oscar, the big mercenary guy, like literally get into a knife fight with a Velociraptor.
Yeah.
He fought a Velociraptor in hand-to-hand combat with a knife.
Well,
and won.
Wouldn't it be hand to claw? Right.
Even recently with the game Funko Fusion, the Jurassic World part of the game.
Assis
the
is
Lego
mocking
Jurassic
up
World
the
game.
proper fight
Funko
technique
Fusion,
for us.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
what is
so
that?
with the Funko Fusion game that came out a few months ago, the Jurassic World part of the game is very kid friendly. It's no guns. You're like shooting balls at the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know, Beta gets like dropped kick and poo and stuff like that. Like that is the amount of
Jesus.
violence that they would do. But the Jaws part of the game, like the shark is like mauling people like in half, blood everywhere, stuff like that.
Oh, God.
And that's just
Wow.
a recent example of how
It's
like
a Funko Pop, by the way. Funko Pop
Yeah.
sharks.
yeah, exactly, ripping people to shreds like violently. Like
What
You
do
know
you,
what I
what
mean?
does Universal think a T-Rex does when it eats some like other creature? Does it
Licks
fucking
it,
take
doesn't
out a
it?
knife and fork?
their head just pops
Yes.
off in the game. It was just a pop off. Like Caleb's head popped off in the game. It just like went like that's what happened. It went,
That's a
like,
great
okay.
sound effect. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Disturbing.
like
That's the sound it makes in real life. Can confirm.
Yeah. So if you don't know,
God.
Caleb was in Funko Fusion.
I
It
looked
was
at
a
it.
little Easter egg. But yeah, that's like the reason why I bring out like this point, because I know with the gaming community, if and when Jurassic Park Survival comes out, Saber will face a
Oh my
ton of
god! If it
yeah.
I don't
comes
like.
out,
I
holy
noticed that
shit.
feedback. I didn't say anything, but I noticed that. You said it.
We've reached that point in the timeline.
Why
that
are
we
you
can
saying
say
it? You're like the nicest, youngest one of us. You should be like all positive.
Yeah,
How are you
but
dating
like
already?
because like this I think it will come out, but I just don't think it will be the game that we deserve. And that's why I'm scared for Saber, because this is like their first big game, and with the gaming community, everyone will start throwing shade and just attack them for releasing something that they didn't have a
Don't
control
forget
of
though, Jamie.
because of pardon.
Don't forget though. I will say one thing to, I guess, not go against you, but I will say that they did release the Warhammer game this year, and it did
Yeah.
come out reception, but then they put out fucking the Quiet Place game and it sucked.
Yeah, but
They
we were
didn't
saying
develop
on the
it.
last pod
They
they
just
didn't
published
develop
it.
that
Like,
one.
god
Yeah.
damn. Like, that's not a good sign.
What's the Warhammer? Is it top down?
No. It's like third person over the shoulder. It's like co-op. You can play online. It's fucking great. Like, it got
Third
great
person?
reviews.
It's
Third
their
person.
best. It's their best game for their company.
It's,
Like it's
dude,
yeah.
expect to see it at the Game Awards in December.
Yeah, you'll see
like,
it at the game.
Absolutely expect. Like, this is huge for Saber.
Well, Saber have also been posting other games as well, like little trailers here and there this week, but it's nothing. Like I think they're getting ready for the Game Awards, but yeah, there's nothing.
Oh yeah, speaking of this, yeah. So probably the reason why we won't see anything Jurassic Park Survival is because Saber has put out 2 games this year, and the only other comparison I can draw to like a similar time frame is BioWare with EA and how they just released Dragon Age Veilguard and how they had the big Mass Effect day the couple days ago on November 7th. So they did pretty much nothing because they wanted to basically focus on promoting their recent releases. So since the releases are so, I guess, prominent for Saber, there's no need for them to focus on the future when their current projects are about to hit the holiday time frame, so they can make extra cash on their investments from this year. So if that makes sense.
I totally understand that aspect, but Jurassic Park Survival like went trending when it got announced last year. Like it went fucking huge, and so many people are asking questions and wanting to know what's happening with it. I feel like they
then, right? Like, I remember Alex. This is what Alex was like, fucking being like, "Oh, who's?" I was like, "Who thought it'd be releasing so soon?" I'm like, I did actually, Alex. I'll tell you why, my friend. I'll tell you why. I get that you had people developing assets, but if you watch the videos, it clearly has pre-alpha gameplay. Pre-alpha gameplay is not developed.
4 scenes, buddy. Maybe 3.
Huh?
It was like 3 shots. Like they weren't more than a couple seconds long.
They have, if a game is in pre-alpha, that means they have the assets already developed. They have all the, I guess, base framework for the game itself in play. They might not have quest lines developed and all that stuff, but like they have the base game in a playable effect that you can have. I guess Maya Joshi jump up and have like a Velociraptor jump on the platform too. So like all the fake CGI shit is probably like, yeah, that's the stuff that I guess your kind of stuff works on, like your kind of companies, right? Like trailers and shit, right?
Who are you talking to?
You, man. Oh my god! I'm basically saying, like, dude, this game can totally come out like next year, and I wouldn't be surprised.
But
like, probably the best
Alex,
thing
I
to
saw
look
what you
at.
were saying. I watched those clips again. I saw what you were saying about the bubbling wall.
Yeah, like what the fuck's going on there? I genuinely think some of it might have been post-processed with AI. So like you might be looking at it was a really blank scene.
That is dangerous. That is dangerous territory. What you just stepped into. That is.
So before the beta gameplay, right? Before game goes gold, it's in beta format, right? Before beta, it's an alpha. So if you're in alpha stage already and you're showing it off in the
alpha's
trailer,
like the first stage, buddy. It's A and then B.
I understand that, but you have a playable piece. You have a playable piece, though. Like when people are playing that, you can like physically play that on the controller, though. So like it's not like nothing.
When did the Golden Circle or the Great Circle or whatever it's called? When did we get a teaser for that the first time?
Is that the Indiana Jones
game?
It
is, yeah. Just to use as a
baseline. I was talking about Polar Express or whatever the fuck it was called. Like the
what?
Not Polar Express, the fucking other one, with the big polar bear. Anyways,
that Chris Evans movie, Red One, with the polar bear people.
Oh no.
Oh, I thought that movie looked really, really not good. But
I think it has like a 30% Rotten Tomato right now.
Anything with Dwayne Johnson, it's not good.
The Indiana Jones official, is it made by? Yeah, it's made by Bethesda. The first teaser trailer for the Indiana Jones game, it wasn't the Great Circle, but it was the Indiana Jones Bethesda game official teaser. Was 13th of January 2021.
And did it have any gameplay in it at all, or was it all CGI?
Let me click on it.
If it had gameplay,
I think we've mentioned before. I think that they knew that they wouldn't be able to release a Jurassic Park survival teaser without some gameplay, because everybody would say, "Well, it's just it's like the Dead Island thing,
Just
isn't it?
like
Remember
last
the Dead
time, yeah.
Island
Mm.
trailer
Oh
that
my
came
god!
out?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Reverse,
no
little bit.
gameplay or anything in that teaser trailer. It's just a little cinematic.
Oh, there was in the Jurassic Park survival.
But wait, anyways, January 2021 was that, Caleb?
Yeah,
Hayden?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
late here. So that's, and it's not out yet. It's out very, very soon. So that's nearly 4 years.
But
Somebody do the math.
Jurassic Park Survival has been in development since 2022. I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, minus 1 year from that, I would say. So take that Indiana Jones timeline minus a year. That's when the game should come out. If that makes sense.
2026 first.
I think in 2026. I'm confident the game will come out. I just don't know if it will be something that, will be good.
They do have a lot to live up to, but they also have the issue with there's a lot of Jurassic has never had this type of game, and it's been promised it for a long time. So there's a lot of anticipation on the audience side. We're not going into it blind. We all know what we want, and that's obviously a problem for them. But you'd think that they would have people on their end who have been discovering and figuring it out and putting their pieces together before the game even began to get developed on like, what do we need to deliver? Well, we need to deliver. Everybody's always saying, I'm not just talking about Jurassic fans, all the websites that talk about this kind of thing, I don't want to say IGN, but all of those kind of pages have always said for years, it needs to be Alien Isolation, but in the Jurassic universe. So if they're using their brains, that's what they're going to be delivering. I just worry that that's not what we're getting.
So you shouldn't have to worry, because the people who literally made Alien Isolation was Creative Assembly, and Creative Assembly was not known for first-person games at all. So like this was like the first ever first-person game, and they fucking crushed it. So
didn't they just publish it though? Wasn't it another developer?
Say again, sorry?
Didn't they just Creative Assembly? Weren't they just the publisher? I thought it was another entity that developed.
No, Sega was the publisher. Creative Assembly was the developer. Yeah. So Sega published the game, but Creative Assembly made that, and they were like known for I think racing games, or I think it was RTS games actually, maybe. But either way, they never did a first-person game at all. So Saber's in a good spot. We shouldn't have to worry about
I do wonder. Do we think it's a case of they wanted to make this game, so they licensed the JP from Universal, or is this the other way around, that Universal wanted a game?
Saber has a lot of movie licensed franchises already. I think they have Evil Dead. I think they had maybe it was
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place 2 is I think there's Texas Chainsaw as well.
Oh no, that was a Gun.
Okay, there's a bunch of these random.
That's a good question.
Friday the 13th title too. So like, I guess it's like but they do have some like movie license things. Like they also have other licenses like the Warhammer title, obviously. So
yeah, they got World War Z and Quiet Place are the ones that spring to mind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could be right. Maybe they wanted it. Maybe this is something they were figuring out and they got the license and spoke to Universal, or Universal was shopping it around trying to find a studio that would work under a certain budget. I think that's obviously like Naughty Dog their budget would have needed to, like, I feel like they wouldn't do it for a low amount, but I feel like
they would never do it anyways, because they only do like their own stuff anyways. Like they would never, like, I think they're busy with like Last of Us fucking Part 3 now, I think,
Are they doing a Part 3?
They are, yeah. Thank God.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah!
It is the very, very Last of Us.
Part 2 is the best, man. I love Part 2.
If that means we get more of the TV show, then I'm on board.
Oh, the TV show is fantastic.
Anyway.
I'm a fan of... Jack's like, you know what?
There's a really good point to be made here that it is really good, but it's made in blocks, like 2-episode chunks, and it feels really almost too synthetic that every storyline resolves in
but then Andor is also in 3-episode chunks, and that was like the best TV I saw.
I didn't realize that. I honestly,
it's all 3
long enough that.
Do we think Universal saw, because we've talked about on past podcasts how much is going on with Jurassic animated series, movie, video game? Like, do you think Universal saw, hey, we've got an animated series, we've got a movie coming, like, might as well throw a video game in there? Like, just
mean,
to
it would
sort of
be smart if to
we're
jump on the gaming market.
yeah, like that's what I mean. Like we're sort of kickstarting
It's a
some
lot of
more
money, right?
Jurassic
Yeah.
things right now. Might as well capitalize.
Yeah.
But
I like I don't know. Like it's just hard for me to kind of say this like open with chest, saying like, yeah, this was Universal's idea to capitalize on it. I can't sit comfortable and say that it was their idea to do that.
You
But
think it might
I'm
be? You think it
I
might
think
be a Saber wanted it and
yeah,
they pitched
that
it?
that's the because like
I
we've
mean, that's
gone
the thing. Saber have been trying to do licenses, like you were saying before. You know, they have they wanted World War Z, so they got it. They did Quiet Place. I'm sure they were just trying to look at ideas and properties. Maybe they've got a lot of people that work there that are really into that kind of you know, movie game thing. And Jurassic's one of those properties that hasn't been done right, and it hasn't been done fairly, and it's been such a long time. Maybe they really were looking at it and thinking, yeah, we've got the right pitch.
yeah.
and it was like
Easy on paper,
absolutely out of nowhere when it
Mm.
when it came out. So
yeah,
It was a
truly
complete shock. Like I think that's I don't know. If Universal did capitalize and see the market and the gap, then fair play. I'll take that pie on my face. I look like an idiot if there
Well,
was
to be fair,
their
Jaden,
idea.
they have been trying to do it for a long time. There was Jurassic World Survivor was something that was in development since 2016. They've been trying to do a tie-in, somewhat tie-in game for this franchise for a long time, and it changed over the recent years. It's changed from World back to Park, and maybe that was Saber's. They were like, we want to do it, but we're going to do a park. Like
You tend to find
93.
as well with tie-in media, when you try to tie it to a franchise that's still going. So Marvel's a great example. Anytime they try to do a video game or anything like that within even TV shows, it's hard to do when by the time it comes out, the franchise has already moved so much further along. I could quite easily see them taking a look at Jurassic and being like, you know, we're still making movies. We've got TV shows ongoing. We're going to have to do a game set so far from these. Otherwise, it's going to have zero relevance by the
That's
time it
And
comes out.
that
Yeah.
also brings the point of what we also talk about in the podcast as well, like with how they separate the like Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. Like you kind of see that now that they do that, which makes sense. My thing is that like why did the games get stopped, like Jurassic World Survivor and stuff like that? Is that more budget reasons, or is it because the developers didn't get that creative freedom, like wanting to do the violent stuff and the horror aspects and stuff like that? Is that
Yeah,
goes on?
there were pre-alpha and there were alpha versions of Jurassic World
Yeah.
Survivor made, so they reached that stage. But I don't know. It's never really. I know that one of the iterations was kind of lost in the shuffle of a studio closing, and then the rights going to some other, like the parent company, and then the parent company not bothering with it for a while, went to somebody else for a little while. And I think Universal and Amblin, maybe they're difficult partners to work with. Maybe
And
they
that
have
doesn't surprise me.
Probably.
Maybe the budget thing is like an issue for loads of studios. Maybe the restrictions and the time limits, and like it happened with Jurassic Park Survival back in 2001, 2002. The studio were like, it needs to be out now. It needs to be out now. And the developers were like, that's not possible. It can't be out now.
Wait, you know what's funny though, guys? Like Universal has been able to make games for Fast and Furious. Why can't they do it for Jurassic? Like, what the hell's the holdup? Like, you've done it before. Like, you know how to do it. Like, not well, but like you've
that's
done
a
it.
good question.
Maybe I don't think Universal knows how to do this because, like, to keep like when they went for Jurassic World Survival, they went to like that one MMO developer who did like City of Heroes or
It
Villains or
was
something.
Cryptic, wasn't it? Cryptic Studios. Or
Cryptic,
something?
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, like they're like not a Jurassic studio. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They
I
go
don't
for
think
the lowest bidder, I think, maybe.
probably. I think so.
That's what
I don't know what they're doing.
God.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything from Survival in December, but they might surprise us. Maybe they'll give us a little hint of the game. It would be cool to have a little gameplay, like even if it's just 10 seconds of Maya walking through the jungle or something. I think that could be a really good.
Well, let's hope for a little more than that.
sign for this. Yeah, maybe a little more than that. Yeah. But I'll take 10 seconds. Before we wrap, is there any other final thoughts on this image on Scarlett Johansson?
Johansson? Why do you
Johansson?
say? Actually, yeah. My final thought is, why do you say Johansson? Isn't it Johansson?
Yeah, I just corrected myself. I
Hey,
said it wrong.
Zora.
All right, there you go. Never mind.
I said Johansson and everything else, but I heard
Scarlett
something
Johansson.
call it Johansson. Scarlett
Zora
Johansson.
Bennett and her poking gun in theaters, July 2nd, 25.
Yeah, she's holding the gun all wrong. She's got her finger on the trigger. She's holding the thing that fires.
I think she's ready to fire.
Well, take your finger off the trigger.
No. Caleb, you're an American. You should know how this works.
Assis, I know what I'm talking about.
Never, ever.
She's like ready to fire.
Resemble that.
Like she's shooting. Where's she gonna shoot the? Oh, hang on. You can see that? Holy shit! Sorry, never mind.
Anyway.
Any other final thoughts on this image, Derek? Anything?
No, I mean, she's got a gun, run. That's really it.
If something chases you, run. Come on, Finn. You know the classic line, right?
Run.
Judy Greer, man. They should have had her in the movie properly. That
no, those are like fucking Halloween did. What a joke. What a joke franchise.
Oh no. Here we go.
The Halloween franchise.
What a joke.
Another franchise.
Yeah, Halloween 2 and 3 were jokes. The new ones, they're garbage.
Yeah, the new ones.
The new 2, 3, and 3, yeah, they're trash.
I like the original. I like Halloween. Was it H2O? This is like H20.
Boy, we are really off in the weeds.
Are you talking about the Mermaid Show?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mermaid Show.
H2O just add
Yes,
water.
yes.
That's just
Just
in
add-
Queensland.
Oh my god, I remember. Shit, that's Australian, right?
Yeah.
H2O just add water outpost. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Leave a comment down below. Would you like a Jurassic World Rebirth tie-in game? Universal are listening, so leave your thoughts down below in the comments. The developers will have less than a year to develop it. Do you think it's a good idea? Go. Okay, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining
139.
It'll be R18 as well.
Are we at 139 now? Jesus.
R-rated Jurassic World Rebirth tie-in game. That'd be fun.
That's an M-rated.
Double guns, just fire.
Dino Crisis.
See how many
Fucking
dinosaurs
compies
you can
and
kill
shit.
in the game. Yeah, there's a HUD display that says how many dinosaurs you've killed.
Oh no.
Right tits or
It's
blood?
a tattoo.
Yeah, they bring back the trespasser tattoo.
Exactly. The
Bye.
magical tattoo.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.